Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us at Learning at Unmukh. My name is Monimita Sarkar, and I'm the founder of Unmukh, the Senior Hub. And I'm really delighted that, we have this level of engagement. So many of you have come to our sessions before, and some of you are new and joining just now. So welcome to all of you. Dr. Shashikant, thank you so much for joining us, for offering to do these sessions with us, and a very brief introduction of Dr. Shashikant, so we know who is going to be conducting the session today. So Dr. Shashikant is a pioneering proponent of integrative medicine for disease prevention, diagnosis, and treatment, and has impacted the health of multiple individuals in India, China, Southeast Asia, and Europe. He's been practicing for 15 plus years now and has conducted multiple workshops, both online and offline, in the country and abroad in areas of rehabilitation, stress management, relaxation techniques, medical yoga, applied psychology, and lifestyle disease management. So, thank you very much once again for being with us, Dr. Shashikant, and welcome to all our participants. And with that, Dr. Shashikant, over to you. The session is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction. But in a simple statement, I can say that I am a medical doctor who is very much enthusiastic to bring all the integrative therapies at one goal. So rather than modern healthcare, we call it as, especially I call it as a sick care. When we become sick, we go to the hospital, and there are not much activities to prevent the disease or to manage the disease as such. So most of the doctors become super specialty or busy doctors, So in that sense, I chose this field of integrative medicine, which is very close to my heart. So especially yoga, Ayurveda, applied psychology, and integration. So I have just designed a module for breathing techniques. I think if it is okay for you to introduce yourself, maybe just for less than 1 minute, all of us, like your name, your background, and what you expect from this group. So I'll get a little bit idea. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes you can share. So today, what I'm going to share is simple breathing technique which you learn, which you already know it, but the perspective with which you learn today will be a little different. That's what I'll say. And tomorrow is the breathing techniques which are specifically designed to work on the mind, to integrate the mind-body coordination and reduce the number of thoughts. So I designed that technique tomorrow. Today's techniques are simple, everywhere we use. But when it comes from a medical doctor with the depth of analysis, the content will be used as a therapy. So that's what we're going to learn today. So if it is okay for you to just to break the ice, just to so many people, all of us. So even to introduce to each other, we can just say your name, your background, and where are you from. That could be really great.
So I'm just going to call out the names if everybody can then just do it. So Dr. Kimar. Dr. Kimar.
Hello.
Hi, can you just introduce yourself like Dr.
I'm
Shashikant?
Shaita Pant. I'm from Nashik. I was working for Bosch and retired in the month of November. Got into the group recently, and I was senior manager HR, and also I'm more into the counseling.
Very good.
Employee counseling, yeah.
Ms. Tara?
Yeah, I'm Tara, and I'm a retired banker. Retired in about 2015, 5-6 years back, and now I'm into this, just keeping myself fit and happy, and joining these groups like this. I'm a member of Nightingale Medical Trust also. There I'm active aging classes are going on. There also I attend, and that's it.
Very nice.
Thank you. Kasturi ji?
Yes, I'm Kasturi Shetty. I'm an ex-retired banker. I'm also into a senior citizen group called Dignity Foundation, where we have online classes. So I keep myself busy and keep myself healthy also.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic.
Mr.
Fantastic.
Sivaguru?
I'm a retired chief manager from Tata Power Mumbai, presently staying in Bangalore.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Meenakshi?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Meenakshi Datta. I'm a medical graduate. My age is 70 plus. For the first 22 years, I practiced as a medical practitioner, but the last 22 years, I am running a total body care clinic in Kolkata. One part is diet, nutrition, and fitness, and the other part is skin and hair care.
Very nice.
Miss Lata Taneja?
Yeah, I am Lata and I'm from Mumbai and I am a retired housewife. And I expect to learn a few techniques from Dr. Shrikant here, which would help us in this age of COVID and all that. So
Yeah.
what I'm looking forward to. Thank you.
Sure.
Miss Chaya Srivastava?
I am from Bangalore. I used to be a life coach with Infosys Global Education Center in Mysore. And of podcasting on Bhagavad Gita and how to lead a life. So I've taken
Fantastic.
this breathing techniques class. I do. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rao?
Yeah, I am from Bangalore. I am K. Venkateshwar Rao. I am a retired engineer from Karnataka Power Corporation. I retired in 2005. Now I want to just meet you and all, concentrate on my health.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Miss Preeta Vijay?
Hello, good morning everyone. I am Preeta and I am from Thane and a retired teacher, and I joined here to be healthy and fit.
Mr. Rakesh Gupta?
Yes, I am from Delhi, retired banker. For the timing, I have joined Time Bank of India.
Miss Renu Marwa?
Yeah, hi, hello everybody. I'm Renu from, my background is from the fashion industry and the education field. And I'm passionate about yoga and Ayurveda, take any allopathic medicines. And during my free time, I've also conducted sessions for Dignity Foundation in Bombay, aerobic sessions. And look forward to, and I'm very weak at the breathing technique, so really look forward to this session.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sugata Manian?
Hi, good morning to all. I am from the industry. I worked for Air India for almost 32 years here in Bangalore, Sweden, Trivandrum, etc. Now I'm just retired and staying at home. I love doing yoga and breathing exercise.
AC, I don't know who's AC, but if you could kindly introduce yourself. I know who's AC, it's Anirban. Okay.
Yes, I stay in Bangalore, and though I am not a senior citizen so far, but hopefully very soon I shall be one. And I am interested in learning from Dr. Shashi about breathing.
Mr. Ranjit Baliga? Lost him. Mr. Arvind Kocher? Please unmute yourself, sir. Then Mr. Arvind Kocher? Arvinder Kocher? Mr. Jambunathan?
Namaskar everyone. I am Jambunathan. I am a retired banker. I am from Bangalore. I am looking forward to learning some breathing techniques from sir. In fact, this is, I think I understand that the value of breathing techniques. I think I'm looking forward to that.
We have somebody called Auri, A-U-R-I, Auri.
Hi, good morning. This is Arijit.
Oh,
I,
okay, Arijit. Hi.
I live in Bangalore and I'm a very strong believer in the power of breath.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Tandon, Avtesh Tandon, sir, please unmute yourself. Mr. Tandon? So we can't hear you. Sorry, we can't hear you. Maybe there's a problem with your microphone, sir. We can come back. Mr. Baliga? Sir, please unmute yourself. Mr. Baliga? Okay, Mr. Bhushan Tandon? Sorry, Mr. Bhushan Mohan, if you'd like to unmute yourself, sir, just and briefly introduce yourself.
Bhushan Mohan from Delhi. I'm retired IT professional and an advisor and mentor in the area of e-governance and citizen services.
Thank you, sir. We have Dr. Beena Nangia. Dr. Nangia, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Dr. Beena Nangia here. I'm a counselor and a therapist since 28 years. I work with special kids and we have been doing yoga since childhood. So my interest in yoga today. Thank you.
Ms. Chaya Srivastav, and kindly unmute yourself. Mr. Srivastav. Oh, sorry, you did introduce yourself. My apologies. Ms. Hema.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Hema and I'm working still. I work with a foundation called Rise Infinity Foundation. We've been doing a lot of work for the COVID pandemic, actually. And I'm here to learn about breathing exercises.
Thank you. Mr. Umesha? Or Mr. Sushila? Sorry, Miss Sushila?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Sushila. I'm from Bombay, a registered dietitian and a certified diabetes educator, and worked with various hospitals, a few to name, mainly Hinduja, Nanavati, Nair. Looking forward to the session.
And I think we have, I think that's more or less it. If I've forgotten anybody, missed your names, I apologize. And over to you, Dr. Shashikant, now. I think we should start. Dr. Shashikant? Dr. Shashikant, are you there?
Hi, hello.
Hi. Yeah, please.
Yeah, so welcome one and all. It is wonderful to know you, even though it is a short time we spent to know each other, but it is actually very good when you introduce yourself. So you actually come into the group and we get in tuned to know each other. So without wasting much time, we'll start it off. You might have learned all this sometime before in your life, but the perspective with which we are learning right now is little different, and you'll feel it inclusive and you'll feel it useful. So in our body, breathing is the only part of our body which is both voluntary and involuntary. This is a beautiful mechanism where if I say I raise my hand, I can move my finger. So I can do that because it is under voluntary control of the nervous system. But if I ask you to stop heartbeat for some time or raise the heartbeat voluntarily, usually will not be able to do because it is under involuntary control of the body. But notice that breathing is the only part of our body which is both voluntary and involuntary. So this is the beauty of a breathing technique where if you can regulate the voluntary control of breathing, you can indirectly regulate the autonomic nervous system and change the content of your acid base in the body. So in short, what I should say is, if your lung volume is more, the aeration of your lung is better, the oxygen perfusion is better, and your disease fighting ability will be much better. This is how I take it as a breathing technique. So you might have learned this technique, time immortal, but today we'll redo it with little different understanding. I want all of you to do like this. Fold your index finger, fold your middle finger, make your hand like this, and turn it towards your face. This is called as Nasika Mudra. It is a gesture of your hand to hold the nose. And other hand, you can keep it under your elbow. So this is a gesture I wish you to adopt. First, we'll do it, and then we'll discuss about it when we have time. So, ancient yoga techniques believes there is a system of nadis. Medical understanding, I could say that it is a subtle bioelectrical energy changes which you can regulate with your breathing from the left nostril, breathing from the right nostril. I want you to bring your hands closer to your face, and with your thumb, I want you to close your right nostril. And I want you to start breathing out from the left nostril. Like this, you can just see me. Breathe out from the left nostril. Breathing in from the left nostril. Gently close the left nostril. Open the right nostril. Breathe out from the right nostril. Again, breathing in from the right nostril. Close the right nostril and exhale from the left nostril. So this could constitute one round of Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. So we'll discuss about it later. Exhale from the left nostril. Inhale from the left nostril. Close the left nostril. Exhale from the right nostril. Inhale from the right nostril. Close the right nostril. Exhale from the left nostril. So let us do this 10 counts. I am closing my right nostril. Exhale from the left. Breathe in from the left nostril. Close your left nostril. Breathe out from the right nostril. Breathing in from the right nostril. Close your right nostril and exhale from the left nostril. Continue this process. Breathing in from the left nostril. Close your left nostril. Breathe out from the right nostril. Breathing in from the right nostril. Close your right nostril. Breathe out from the left nostril. Continue to do so. Breathing in from the left nostril. Close your left nostril. Breathe out from the right nostril. Breathing in from the right nostril. Close your right nostril. Breathe out from the left nostril. Breathing in from the left nostril. Close your left nostril. Breathe out from the right nostril. Breathing in from the right nostril. Close your left nostril. Close your right nostril. Breathe out from the left nostril. Continue to do so on your own without instruction for 5 more counts. Once you have done 10 counts, very slowly and gently release the gesture. Keep your eyes closed for a moment. Observe your breath. Gentle, normal breathing in. Relaxed, breathe out. Feel the awareness what you're feeling right now. Awareness of synchronized breathing, relaxed outlook, normal heartbeat, a kind of the relaxation response where you feel at ease with yourself, with normal breathing, normal heart output, normal skin tone, and all the reverse process as that of stress. Whatever happens in the stress right now, there's the opposite of the stress is happening within your body. That is called as the relaxation response. Be aware of it for a few seconds before I explain you how I use this simple breathing technique in geriatric population with medical perspective. The question and answer will do it sometime later because I want you to learn as much as you can in this today's session and tomorrow's session. There is one research which says that every 45 minutes, one of our nostril will become dominant. For example, right nostril dominant for 45 minutes, and after 45 minutes or so, the left nostril will become dominant. So it is called as nostril dominance. So when you're doing Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, actually you are trying to channelize the nadis, the dominance of both the sides. You want to balance and make both the sides of nostril, the breath or the nadi, equalized. What it means is the right nostril is connected with the left brain. So this is very interesting. The left nostril is connected with the right brain. It is very difficult to correlate like this, but it is true in its innate sense, where the left nostril is called as Chandra Nadi, the right nostril is called as Surya Nadi. Right nostril is related with sympathetic nervous system. So right nostril is the Surya Nadi, which is heat generation. So left nostril is the Chandra, which is a cold. So there is a balance of a heat and cold. Similarly, in our body, there is an involuntary nervous system. We call it as sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. So when we connect and feel our nostril, if it is equal on the both right nostril and left nostril, it actually means that your right brain and left brain are communicating with each other equally at this juncture of time. So this is very beautiful phenomena where you're not only aware, relaxed, but also you are analytical. So it means you're relaxed with the perspective of the right brain, and with your analytical or you are reasoning with the left brain. Still, your reasoning mind is active without you being in stress, analytical mode. So this is very strange situation where sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system are activated together. So this happens in few of the conditions of yoga called as Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, what we have done right now. This happens, your nostril becomes balanced, your both right and left brain will be communicating much better. That is called as hemispherical synchronization. So in a geriatric population, if we face any anxiety issues or depression issues or any tension related issues, or if not anything even normal, if I want to increase the lung volume indirectly, I need to work on the sympathetic and parasympathetic. So by doing Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, being at home, you're not going to park, you're not going anywhere else because of COVID or other way. You are at home, but increasing the capacity of lungs indirectly by working out with this breathing technique. So for you, what I suggest is 30 counts of Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, morning, afternoon, and evening. If you can do this, actually the inhalation lung capacity, exhalation lung capacity, in due course of time, it will change. I'll give an example to you. You might have heard of BKS Iyengar. There is one study conducted on BKS Iyengar lung volume, where his lungs at the age of 92 years or 94 years of the age, his lungs are as that of 25 to 28 years young person's lung. So there is a substantial evidence which shows that working on the lung volume can change the outlook of aging. So aging with a graceful aging. So I recommend this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama 30-30-30. And with tomorrow's breathing technique, you learn some more medical techniques where you work on the thought dissociation techniques, where you use the breathing technique as to dissociate your thoughts from routine worrisome thoughts to something neutral. So all of your life you have worked, and that when you're working, you're busy with something, your mind is occupied with something. When you're suddenly left with no work, actually, intellectually, your mind usually works more. Body is not working so much, mind is working more. So there is a chance of geriatric depression possibilities. not all the people, but few people, maybe 20+% of geriatric population can undergo the geriatric depression. So I use extensively this Nadi Shodhana Pranayama for reducing possibilities of geriatric depression. All right. So this first technique, what you learned was simple, universal Nadi Shodhana Pranayama with the perspective of right and left brain synchronization. So when you do the Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, believe it or not, your right and left brain are getting synchronized. So this way of learning is something little new for you. So usually we hear some Baba, somebody is sitting or yoga teacher is sitting and they're teaching us Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, but we get the benefit of it, but somewhere we need scientific reasoning for our logical mind all the time, because this is how we have been trained up to live in this world. So simple introduction, simple correlation is the Nadi Shodhana Pranayama balances your nostrils, binostril dominance, it will balance and it will synchronize your right brain and left brain communication by hemispherical synchronization. So there is a connectivity between left brain and right brain together. So another part of yoga where it happens is during Surya Namaskara. So during Surya Namaskara, there is a stimulation of parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system together simultaneously by the sequence of stimulating asanas followed by relaxing asanas. So we designed some specific targeted exercises for you and give in some other sessions. For example, the anabolic and catabolic process. Anabolic means body building. Catabolic means body destruction. The cells which finish their work will get destroyed. So in old age, what happens is the catabolic activity is very active compared to the anabolic activity. So that's what we get skin, the sagging of the skin. What we get is because the rate of catabolism is more than the rate of anabolism. The rate of destruction of cells, skin cells, is much more than the rate of its replenishment. So the breathing techniques can reduce the rate of destruction, really, because it is giving you an oxygen saturation which is not more than normal. So if you can practice this breathing technique, it is good for you. So we'll go for the second breathing technique. I combine a simple breathing technique of a diaphragm. So diaphragm is a muscle which will divide your lung space, the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. So I call it as a diaphragmatic breathing technique followed by mindfulness. So simple mindfulness is being aware of your breath. You can call it as mindful breathing. So just similarly, mindful eating, mindful walking, mindful being, and graceful aging. So you can, so for a young person, the future lies ahead of him. For a middle-aged person, there is some bit amount of future and there is a past. But for an aging old person, he has a tremendous life experience at the past, and this life at this moment looks meaningless for some time if you don't have the goal of your life. So goal of your life is not just working. You already done that. Now if you can find your goal of life, that will give you a chaitanya or the energy of your spirit to hold on, and you can gracefully age in this process. So this is more mindful being time. In Indian perspective, they'll call it as vanaprastha or sannyasa, based on the context of olden times. But right now, for you to do vanaprastha is mentally letting go of few things which you are holding on from the mind, and then focus on your true self to take care of yourself. That's what I call it as vanaprastha. mentally for you to achieve better balanced body and mind, and possible disease free, or if there is already disease, better control of that disease. So second technique I want to use is the diaphragmatic breathing technique. Very simple. I want you to take your both hands, keep it on your tummy, just for you to be aware of the diaphragm movement. You keep your both hands on your tummy, but I'll take off. I'll whatever I'm showing my hand gesture right now here. This is how the diaphragm looks like. So this is a dome-shaped muscle. When it contracts, the lung cavity space will be more. The outside environment, the pressure will be more compared to the inside environment, because diaphragm is contracting. So air rushes from the outside environment, from your nostril inside of your lung. That we call it as inhalation. When the diaphragm relaxes along with the intercostal muscles, in between your ribs, there is the muscles, we call it as intercostal muscles. In between ribs also contracts. So when the diaphragm contracts, intercostal muscles contracts, more space in the chest cavity, air enters from outside to inside. That's we call it as breathing in. When diaphragm relaxes, the intercostal muscles relaxes, the chest cavity space will become more pressure compared to the outside environment. So we automatically breathe out. So that we call it as exhalation. So I use this diaphragmatic breathing to reduce the number of thoughts. So there is one research conducted. Somebody has found out that there are 60 to 70,000 random thoughts per day. So imagine. So too many number of thoughts, it will stimulate your sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system stimulated, it will increase your blood pressure. For example, I'm giving you. So increase in the sympathetic activity, increase in the liver converting glycogen to glucose. So increase in your blood sugar levels. So more sympathetic activity, more alertness. So age population tend to have less sleep. Insomnia is one of the issue. So I use somewhere you give the mind some job where it is doing the awareness of the diaphragm, awareness of breathing. So mind is diverted from routine, unwanted negative thoughts or worrisome thoughts to something neutral for some time. So that you will achieve thought dissociation or thought stopping. So this is very, very simple technique. Keep your both hands onto the tummy. You breathe in deeply, as deep as you can. Notice that your abdomen bulges out. Breathe out. You notice your abdomen sinks in. Why this happens? As the diaphragm contracts, it will push the abdominal content outwards. So the diaphragm contracts, the abdomen bulges out, you breathe in. You breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes, your abdomen goes in. So let us be aware of this diaphragmatic breathing technique for 5 counts, 5 to 6 counts. Close your eyes. Breathe in from your both nostrils. Fill your lungs. Feel the abdomen bulging out. That is an indirect representation of the diaphragm contracts. Gentle breathe out. Abdomen sinks in. Be aware of this. Breathe in, diaphragm contracts, stomach bulges out. Breathe out, stomach sinks in, diaphragm relaxes, you breathe out. Let us be aware of this. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathe out. One more time. Breathing in, breathe out. Normal breathing. Release your hand down. So this is a simple diaphragmatic breath awareness. In this also, we can make it as simple mindfulness breathing by closing your eyes and just being aware of the air going inside the nose. It touches the nostrils, touches the back of your throat, touches your bronchi, and then goes deep into deep into your lungs. So be aware of this. When you breathe out, the warm deoxygenized air is going from the lungs at the back of your throat, at the back of your nasal cavity. Then it is the warm exhaled air is touching your nostrils and then going out. So this is a simple breath awareness which was used by Buddha, Gautam Buddha, for his enlightenment. More than 6 to 9 years what he practiced, and at last what he gets is simple letting go effect. And in that letting go effect, he designed this mindfulness breathing technique. People say that it is from Buddhist text, but it is basically from yogic text, which is connected to both Hinduism and Buddhism. So there is one book called as Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, where it mentions about 112 meditation techniques. All the gurus of the world uses one of these meditation techniques, one of the breathing techniques, and make their own, so-called trademark breathing techniques. It is all from this secret book of the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. So first technique of Vijnana Bhairava Tantra is breath awareness, simple mindful breath awareness. So thereby, by giving you scriptural background, I could connect you to the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra's breathing techniques, meditation techniques, and the mindfulness breathing of mindful breath awareness right now. This Buddhist technique became very famous because there is no imagination, there is no chanting, there is no visualization of any god. There is nothing as such except for being aware of your own breath. So as simple as that, irrespective of any religious context, this can be used. So that's what it became so famous. Very slowly and gently, keep your eyes closed. You can sit or relax yourself, relax your back, sit in any comfortable posture you like, no problem. Shift your awareness towards your breathing. You're calm, you're relaxed. You're at this present moment right now. Shift your all awareness towards your nostrils. And very slowly and gently shift your awareness towards your breathing. Actually, you are stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system with this, and your body mind complex will become calm, relaxed. Your blood pressure will reduce by 20 to 30 millimeter of mercury, if you can check later. Your body pains, if you have any neck pain, knee pain, back pain, will reduce somewhere between 20 to 40% in the pain intensity because of parasympathetic dominance. Shift your awareness towards breathing. Notice and be aware of cool breeze of air touching your both nostrils. The air is going deep into the nasal cavity, windpipe, then to the deeper parts of your lungs. When you're exhaling, the deoxygenated blood and air, the deoxygenated blood is going towards the lungs, and deoxygenated air is coming from the depth of your lungs towards your windpipe, from the windpipe to the nasal cavity, from the nasal cavity to the nostrils. You could feel the warm, deoxygenated air coming out of your nostril. Be aware of this awareness and nothing else. Initially, you feel your body is sitting and you are aware of the breath. And later you feel that you are the breath. So focus your attention on your breathing. Breathing in, breathe out. Breathing in and breathe out. Breathe in, the air touches your nostrils, back of your throat, windpipe, goes into the depth of your lungs. Breathing out, the air from the depth of your lungs reaches to the alveoli, respiratory bronchioles, bronchi, trachea, back of your nasal cavity, your nostrils. You could feel the warmth of the exhaled breath at the level of your nostrils. Be aware of this simple, mindful breathing technique. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Now completely focus your attention just at your nostrils. Breathing in, the cool breeze of air touches your nostril. Breathe out, the warm air touches your nostrils and you breathe out. Just be aware of this for few of your breaths. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, the cool breeze of air touches your nostril, goes to the depth of your lungs. Breathe out, the warm air from the depth of your lungs goes through the nostrils. You feel as a warmth of the air. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep doing this for a few more counts. Keep your eyes closed. Withdraw your senses. Focus your attention on to the breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your entire body is deeply relaxed. Breathing in. Breathe out. You're totally at ease with your body. The breathing is in synchrony with your body. Your mind is at the present moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. Do this for a few more counts on your own. Maintain that relaxed outlook. Focus your mind and awareness towards the breathing. Now you can bring a feeling that when I breathe in, I invite good prana in my body. When I breathe out, I throw out the tensions, worries from my system. Just add this feeling into the breath awareness that when I breathe in, I invite good prana, good vibes around me. When I breathe out, I let go of tensions, worries, anxieties, which I'm holding from the mind. Breathing in, invite good prana in your system through the breath. Breathe out, letting go of tensions, worries, and stresses, and also pain. Breathe in, good prana enters in. Breathe out, tensions, worries, the pain goes out. Just imagining this and feeling this can change the genetic expression. The brain can focus on to increasing the endorphins, enkephalins, prostaglandins, and positive neurotransmitters like gamma aminobenzoic acid, GABA. So this can really make you feel at ease and pain-free for some time, because brain can produce the endorphins when it is relaxed, when the parasympathetic nervous system is on. Gentle breathe in, good prana enters in your system. Relaxed, breathe out, tensions, worries, and pain out of your system. Keep doing that for a few more seconds. Very slowly and gently come back to your body awareness. just to share a quick review. So we did Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, that is holding the Nasika Mudra, closing the right nostril, exhaling from the left, breathing in from the left, closing the left nostril, exhaling from the right. Then again breathing in from the right, closing the right nostril, exhaling from the left, and continuing like this for 30 counts. You do it at home 3 times in a day or 2 times in a day, depends on your time, what you have for yourself. That was the first breathing technique. Something new was, I said, there is a hemispherical synchronization. Right and left brain will communicate and work together when you are doing this breathing technique. Actually, at this juncture, you can experiment with this and let us know, did you really felt like that or not? So you really feel connected, left and right brain. So thoughts will come, analytical thoughts will come from the mind, and emotions may come from the right brain. So there is a sync of the feelings and the thinkings together. So experiment with this. Second one, we keep the hand onto the tummy and you imagine the diaphragm muscle here and intercostal chest muscle. When you breathe in, the chest muscles expands, the diaphragm muscles contract. So more space here in the lungs cavity. Outside environment, there is less pressure. Outside is more pressure, inside is less pressure. Air goes in. So inhalation. So when the diaphragm relaxes, the intercostal muscles contract, the chest cavity space is less. So inside pressure is more, outside pressure is less. So you exhale out. So just you be aware of this simple diaphragmatic breathing. Sitting, standing or lying down posture, no problem. So any posture you can adopt and practice this diaphragmatic breathing. Maybe 3 to 5 minutes twice a day. Third one is an extension of this diaphragmatic breathing where you are aware of the air touching the nostrils and then going deep into the lungs cavity. So you are breathing in, imagining or visualizing those cool air breeze touching your nostrils, then going at the back of your throat into the windpipe and then into the depth of your lungs. Same way when you are breathing out, the carbon dioxide rich air is coming from the depth of your lungs at the back of your chest through the windpipe to the nasal cavity. The warm deoxygenated air is touching your nostrils. So you be aware of this technique of breathing in, breathing out, and simply be that. Focus on that. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Initially, you feel that you are sitting down and you are focusing on your breathing. So later on, you feel that you became the breath and you are the breath. So that is a beautiful expansion of awareness and focusing, intense focus onto the breath. So mindful focus onto the breath will make you feel that you are that breath. So when you're doing this technique, at the background, what is happening is your body is going for a parasympathetic relaxation technique. So your body's involuntary nervous system, which is focusing on the relaxation, is activated. When that is activated, inside my body, there is a good healing chemicals get secreted. You can really feel that calmness. You can really feel that relaxed outlook. So if somebody is having hypertension or the diabetes, the intensity of glucose production inside the blood, because of the sympathetic activity, that will be taken care, that will reduce. So when parasympathetic activation is there, there is not too much of glucose needed in the blood levels. So it will get absorbed back. So by that, indirectly, you are contributing for diabetes and hypertension control with bit of medication. So when you keep on practicing like this for an extended time, definitely you can control. I'll not say cure. I'll say that control with minimum medications is also as good as cure for me. Yeah. I don't want to give you a false claims, but it is possible to cure. It is possible to reverse the disease, working on the lung volume. So right now, building the lung volume, increasing the inhalation lung capacity, what amount of air you inhale, that capacity, and what amount of air you exhale, that capacity, we should increase. So that can be checked by something called as spirometry or peak flow rate, PFR. Check your PFR if you are visiting a doctor anytime nearby. Sometimes when you're visiting, check your spirometry 3 times, take the mean of that, what is the amount of air you exhale out in that spirometer, just check it out and start these breathing techniques for 3 months or 1 month at least. And at the end of 1 month of sincere practice of these breathing techniques, check your spirometer again. There would be definitely 30 to 50 ml of increased inhalation and exhalation lung capacity. So this is very much possible. It is not impossible task because we are already not using the certain parts of our tidal volume, PV, we call it as tidal volume. There is some dead space in the lungs. We don't use everything optimally. When you're going uphill, you use little bit of extra lungs capacity, so you feel the panting for breath because you are using the extra space of lung, which you are not used before. So by this regular practice of these techniques, simple techniques, but you practice regularly, you can increase the lung volume. It's very much provable. Somebody wants to do that, check it out. The doctors, 2 doctors who wants to do it, you can do the spirometer, check your peak flow rate, PFR, do these 3 techniques every single day for 1 month and redo the test and let us know. So that could be the single case study, what you can, contribute to. So with this, I think right now we can, I can stop from my end. And if there is 1 or 2 questions, I can take it up.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yes, please.
So for the first exercise, if you use the left, you started with the left nostril. Is it okay if you start? So I can't use my right hand. So is it
no
okay?
problem. Absolutely okay to use the left hand, no problem. There is no fixed mandatory rule that I should only start from the right and left, nothing like that. But as a scriptural backup where they started like that, so people use it like that. So
what I mean is I'll be using my left hand instead of my right hand.
No problem. Absolutely no problem. You can use like this, no problem.
Oh.
Absolutely no problem. See, this Nasika mudra is mudra to hold the nose. Either I use right or left, no problem.
Okay.
Hold index finger and middle finger, I can use the left, no problem.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question, please.
Yes, madam.
You said that we have to do it 3 times, 30 repetitions. So it is 30, 30, 30.
Yeah, 90, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. If somebody is having, say, for example, insomnia or general anxiety issues, I ask them to do this 5 times in a day. So imagine in 5 times in a day, you are cutting down the number of repetitive thoughts at the back of your mind. By adding a neutral thought, neutral focus on the breath. So 5 times in a day or 3 times in a day, your number of thoughts are reducing. Number of thoughts are reducing, your parasympathetic dominance is better. So your overall body feels much better.
Dr. Shashikant, we had one more question from Mr. Ramesh. Is there any breathing technique which can help relieving migraine?
See, I use left nostril breathing. It's a very good question what you asked for. Because I was thinking the last one, can I tell, or due to time, can I tell it or not tell? So if you check the statistics worldwide, I'll just use one quote is, non-communicable diseases are on the highest rise. So 51 million people die every year, WHO statistics. Out of this 51 million people die every year with various causes. 70% of the causes are related with non-communicable diseases. That is 41 million people die because of non-communicable disease. Amongst that, four things are: cardiac is the first one, second is the cancer, third is the diabetes, fourth one is third is the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, lungs issues, fourth one is diabetes. So these four diseases are very common. So with this, what I think at the medical mind, what thinks is the sympathetic activity is more in this modern world of hurry, worry, curry, So it's very fast world, very hurried world. Your sympathetic dominance is high. So answering your question is, I use the left nostril dominance. We call it as just closing the right nostril and using only left nostril, like breathing in, breathing out only from the left side of your nostril. This is called as Chandra Anuloma Viloma Pranayama, breathing in and out from the left nostril. This I use extensively for migraine headaches. So I work with one of a neurologist here in one of the hospital, where I use this for cluster headaches, for simple routine migraine headaches. Intensity of headaches will reduce. The trigger, if it is monthly, twice or thrice, it will become reduce the intensity. Left nostril breathing, I use 40-40-40 3 times in a day. When you're doing Nadi Shodhana Pranayama, instead of this, for a migraine, you use left nostril breathing. 40-40-40 3 times in a day.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I have another question. The 3 times in the day is some timing, or is it any time you can do?
If your stomach is empty, say for example 45 minutes before doing this technique and 45 minutes after, if the stomach is empty, it is any time is fine for me. Why stomach empty is the gastric emptying time is around, on an average, it is around 45 minutes, and there is more of blood circulation happening around the stomach. And when we start active exercises, it will be like a sympathetic activity will be more. So we want you to be relaxed. So in that sense, anytime after 40 minutes after, 40 minutes before this technique, don't eat anything. You adjust your time accordingly. So that's the better time.
I am a left-handed person. So this left breathing, does it have to be with the right side or vice versa? No, same.
No, not exactly. See, left hand and right hand are ambidextrous, both hands also. It is actually related with your motor cortex of your brain. So not exactly, the nostril dominance will be same. So either you are left-handed or the right-handed, the nostril dominance will be same.
Okay.
Yeah. If somebody is having left-sided deviated nasal septum, then it can interfere in the nostril dominance.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
I think with that we'll come to a close, Dr. Shashikant. That I think was brilliant, and I think all our attendees, we're all feeling much more relaxed. I did it and I'm feeling a lot more relaxed.
Yes.
And so thank you very much for being with us today. Namaste. And we look forward, you'll be with us tomorrow again, right? You'll be doing part 2 of this.
Yeah, part 2, which we designed it for specifically focusing on different diseases. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.